100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man, check the wrist, man, got him hot. Hey, man, can't ball like this, man, Lord. Pass a big scam, and he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, round it up, count it up. Hey, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like me, cause I like she can count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep it score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, 1 point to guard.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we're in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in 2019 from Ohio State. It's Dwayne Haskins.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Completes it to Benjamin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice...
And he's taken down. The this will be a Brown sack. Devin White in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. In early second and long they're facing. Now it's Haskins. That's complete to Sharp. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Tajay Sharp, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. The underdog here is showing no fear. Great opening drive.
Now, we weren't in the locker room for the pregame speech, but I will guarantee you, somewhere along the way, the head coach said, let's just grab a big stick and smack them with it and let them know we're going to be here today. They may be the team that's supposed to be superior, but we're not backing down to anyone.
And on the road, no less, setting the tone. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018 from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
To be considered for the MVP award in the NFL, it's got to be a season of not just consistency, but spectacular consistency. And he's had it all the way through.
I think you're right. He's been as consistent, more consistent probably than anybody else as the numbers bear out. The social media chatter for the MVP races certainly start to ramp up. I know you and I have felt that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Right now, he's in the pole position as we head down the stretch.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Mayfield off the play fake. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he's got the first down. Yardage before being taken down at midfield. Mayfield now.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. This seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
They run. It's Mark Ingram, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. It's a give to the right. Ingram. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 39 yards there, a big one.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to look at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Devin White in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Here's Haskins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joe Schobert in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out, and he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. The Redskins with the football here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. The danger, Charles, of a long field goal attempt.
And what teams are doing now is not just putting their field goal block unit on. They may change it out and go punt return because you have better guys on the field who are able to stay on their feet and block in case that kick is missed. And that's what we saw there. The big return after the long missed field goal.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. confident the kicker could make it, and even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Haskins hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Devin White, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a 1st down throw complete downfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. This time the extra point up and good. And it's now 21-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now it's Ingram. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Haskins to throw it. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Joe Schobert has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Here's Tressway now. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
He'll let this go for the end zone, and this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, his third touchdown now on the year, and the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best will.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin White in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. That's going to be caught by Richardson. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Third down. Here's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
He's going to fire one deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Campbell making the catch. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Escaping the pressure right. It's caught by OBJ. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Redskins scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You know I love football. You know I love the game.
I hope so.
But nighttime in December, you know I'm wearing multiple coats. So I just wonder about the guys on the field with all the great gear that they have. Do they have enough on, or do they have too much on? Because sometimes that can affect you trying to carry the ball.
The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Switch up.
On first down, it's Haskins. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Haskins and the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Final play of the half, it's Haskins. And he finds the tight end, Reed. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Shifts free at the 15. He finds his target, Beckham. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 15 yards on the play, first down. They go play action here on first down. Dancing to his left. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now a play fake here on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. And quickly they get to the line. And again, it's Chubb. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From midfield now, Haskins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Mark Ingram there. And it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Haskins will throw. This one complete to Ingram. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for offense.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's been great. Looked down at the stat monitor here a moment ago. He's already over 300 yards in the 3rd quarter.
And you get the sense there are plenty more yards to come. He's been sharp right from the beginning, finding the open targets, knows exactly where he wants to go with the football, and is delivering it really well.
And now he is in search of more yardage on his drive. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. They run it again with Chubb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking sideline, incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. They'll set up the throw. It's caught. Beckham. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing. There he goes, left side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on 2nd down. Haskins, he's got it to Ingram, complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a first down on a gain of 10. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Looking to throw, Haskins. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around? And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Devin White, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now this one complete on the slant route. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
We got trips over here. Trips over here. There's overload.
On third down, Haskins. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in Newcastle?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. But the game, certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. That's good for 28 yards. He'll drop to throw. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, and it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. Looking to throw, rolling to his right. This is caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument where you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah,
and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over?
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it to the goal line, but it's incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1, we want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable that they even attempted from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The run there on 1st down gets him a yard to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 for the 26. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd and 9, Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
That right now, that's a speed of team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Complete. Richardson has it. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
218, chop, spot.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 2. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. The Browns on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
Back to throw here. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add
and it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Well, that was almost a 4-point swing, the interception. If he had returned it all the way, would have been 2 for them, but just a little bit shy.
And when it's a play like that, you're exactly right with the math. But don't you feel like it would have counted for more if they'd found their way all the way back to the end zone and gotten the 2? That changes the whole momentum, doesn't it?
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this. And
Haskins hit and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Watch the run. Watch the run. 50 wants the mic. 50 wants the mic. I got you. Big dribble. Big dribble.
They'll try and throw for it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went,
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Haskins looking to throw on first down. Haskins hit and he lost. Haskins hit and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for two and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now it's Haskins. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Jordan Reed was the intended target. And it's second down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Here's Haskins to throw. Benjamin's got it. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they've plummeted.